I just received this in an email from the Missouri Supreme Court, and this is Missouri Revised Statutes, Chapter 160, Schools, General Provisions, Section 160.775, and this was dated August the 28th of 2012. And what this talks about is anti-bullying policy required definition and requirements. And this is rather lengthy. I haven't had time to review the whole thing. But in here it talks about offenses. This is Chapter 565. Offenses against a person. Section 565.225. And like I said, there's quite a bit of information here. And I will share that with you in the upcoming videos as I read through it. But what I found interesting in part of that, and this is on page 21 of what I received the information, court tosses out Missouri cyberbully law. And this was published May 30th, 2012 at 4:01 p.m. And this is in Jefferson City, Missouri. It is dated, the time, as I said, 4:01. The Missouri Supreme Court has ruled part of a law passed after a notorious case of cyberbullying ended in a teen suicide is too broad and vague. In its ruling Tuesday, the court struck down a section that allows prosecution of someone who knowingly makes repeated unwanted communication to another person. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reported that. The court upheld the rest of the law. The law was passed in 2008 after a year after Megan Meyer, 13, of Dardenne Prairie, took her own life. An adult neighbor, Lori Drew, had posed as a 16-year-old boy on MySpace, first befriended Megan, and then turning on her. Drew was acquitted of criminal charges. Lawyers for Danny Vaughn, a Missouri man accused under the law of harassing his ex-wife, challenged the unwanted communications section and another section barring conduct designed to frighten, intimidate, or cause emotional distress to another person. The court upheld the second section. The court said the unwanted communication language could be used against legitimate protesters, people seeking donations, and even teachers who call on students who have said they do not want to be recognized in class. Although the statute purports the criminalize harassment, this subdivision, unlike the other subdivisions, does not require the conduct to actually harass in any sense of the word. Judge William Ray Price, Jr. wrote. What I like to say about that is, when they talk about a teacher calling a student at home, solicitors, how in the world can anybody, and I am not an attorney, I've never attended law school, I've never sat down and picked the brains of anybody on the Supreme Court, but I am totally baffled and taken back by that ruling where they threw that out, that section of the law out. It's like comparing apples and oranges. How can anybody say or even talk about the two same things in the same sentence? I just don't understand that. We are talking about true intimidation. We are talking about emotional distress. We are talking about belittling. We are talking about something that ends up in a person's death. A person isn't going to commit suicide because the teacher calls the student at home. So get real. I don't mean to be repetitious, but definitely there's a problem with the judicial system and how it operates in pertaining to the law, current law. So what I say, check your state laws, whether it's Utah, Colorado. Get in touch with your Supreme Court in your states, and I would go through this to see what your laws are, because this is something I take offense to. In no way is this honoring all the teenagers that have taken their own lives. This is a slap in the face. So please look into what your laws are in your states. Anyone in the state of Missouri, I've saved that email, and I would be more than happy to forward it to you. So I will keep you updated as I read through this information. I find it quite interesting. So I hope in the short video it has shed some light on just how hard we definitely have a battle to fight in getting current laws changed. And once the laws are changed, and I'm beside myself, there was a law passed in 2008, and then to turn right around 4 years later and for people to throw part of it out. I would like to, I put this question to anybody sitting on the Missouri Supreme Court. How many people do you know? Have you had family members? Have you had children that have committed suicide because of cyberbullying? And I would be willing to bet none of you have. You have no idea what it's like. Neither do I. I have never lost a child to that. So I cannot relate to parents that have. But I'd be willing to bet neither have you. And I pray to God none of you ever do. So I want to thank everybody for their time this evening. And we are reaching out, and we are saving lives. So good night.